He's carrying some speakers. So when he carries speakers, he's going to put these speakers in a place where he's going to create some noise. Okay. Nitrous oxide inhalation sedation is also called noise. NOIS. Okay. So when we put speakers in a place, it creates noise. But when we put the patients on noise, they become calm. So that's why it's called noiseless noise. It's like an oxymoron. Cruelly kind அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அன்பா இருக்கிறத முரட்டுத்தனமா அன்பா இருக்கிறது அப்படின்ற மாதிரி. We'll talk some. Okay, அந்த மாதிரி தான். Okay, so we just to enlighten the audience, just kept like this. I've given a small slip for you all. Okay, so இத வந்து connect these 9 dots with 4 straight lines. யாராச்சும் பண்ணீங்களா அந்த எக்ஸசைஸ? ஸ்ட்ரைட்டா 4 லைன், அதுல வந்து எப்படி இந்த 9 டாட்டையும் கனெக்ட் பண்றது அப்படின்றதுதான். இல்ல அப்படி கிடையாது, தேவையில்லை. இல்லையே, 9 டாட்ஸ் கனெக்ட் ஆகணும். ஒன்னு 2 3 4, பட் இந்த சைடு கனெக்ட் ஆகல. எல்லாமே 9 டாட்ஸ் கனெக்ட் ஆகணும். ஆமா, எல்லாமே கனெக்ட் ஆகணும். Yeah, almost. Yes, he is correct. Up. So this is the right answer. So he is correct. இந்த ஸ்லிப் அப்படி பத்திரமா வச்சுக்கோங்க. ஓகே, இந்த லெக்சர் ஒரு 50 மினிட்ஸ் போகும். ஓகே, யூசுவலா நான் கிளாஸ்ல உட்கார்ந்துனா தூங்கிடுவேன். கிளாஸ்ல ஸ்டூடெண்டா இருக்கும்போது கிளாஸ் கவனிக்கிறது வெரி டிஃபிகல்ட் ஃபார் மீ. Unless the lecture is little enlightening, ஏதாவது something keep happening, then only I sit in the lecture. So most of the time I sleep and I keep writing. அது எழுதுனது என்னன்னு எனக்கே தெரியாது லெக்சர் முடிஞ்ச பிறகு, அல்ல கிளாஸ் முடிஞ்ச பிறகு. So that was how I used to be a student. So what I am doing now is a small exercise, a master listener game னு ஒன்னு வச்சிருக்கேன். So இதுல வந்து 4 கொஸ்டின் கேட்க போறேன் at the end of the lecture pertaining to the lecture. இந்த 4 கொஸ்டினுக்கும் ஆன்சரை பின்னாடி எழுதி ஃபர்ஸ்டா கொடுக்கறவங்களுக்கு ஒரு gift வச்சிருக்கேன் நான் இன்னைக்கு. ஓகேயா? இதுல ஒரே ஒரு hint. What hint is, the 3 questions, out of all the 4 questions, the answers will be in the presentation itself. In one question alone, orally I will be telling something that you have to capture. Then only you can get all the 4 answers right. Okay? Deal or no deal? Deal. Good. So laughing gas dentistry is nothing but, what is the physiology behind smile? What is the physiology? When we laugh, what happens scientifically? Okay. Yeah. Brain, what is getting stimulated? Endorphins. Very good. Anything else? Enkephalins. These are happy hormones which get stimulated in the body. Okay. So it activates basically by the endogenous opioid release. Okay. Activation of the endogenous opioid system, which blocks the pain pathway, and endorphins and enkephalins are released. That is what nitrous oxide does to our body. Okay. So coming to conscious sedation, today I'm only going to talk about noise, nothing else. But conscious sedation encompasses a lot of things. It encompasses oral sedation. It encompasses intramuscular sedation. Noise is a form of inhalational sedation. It doesn't have any interaction with the blood. Okay. So today we are only going to talk about that, and whether dentists are able to practice that on their own without the presence of the anesthetist. So that is what we are going to enlighten you. Okay. What the definition states is, it states that it takes the patient to a minimally depressed level of consciousness in which he is able to independently breathe and his heart is able to independently pump without any kind of support, and his pharyngeal and laryngeal reflexes are intact. Okay, pharyngeal and laryngeal reflexes are intact இருந்தா தண்ணியை ஹோல்ட் பண்ண முடியும் நீங்க வந்து டென்டல் ப்ரொசீஜர் பண்ணும்போது. Okay, he is able to independently breathe. His respiration is not altered in any way and his cardiac system is not altered in any way. So that is the level at which you are going to get the sedation. இத வந்து okay, if you ask me if the patient is going to sleep completely, okay, there are going to be 17 myths I'm going to clarify for you. It is not going to be a scientifically full-blown lecture. I'm going to only clarify some doubts which you have so that at the end of the lecture, you take home some points to know that, okay, this can be practiced or not. Okay, so that is what we are going to tell, out of which some scientific content also will be there along the lecture. So whether the patient is going to sleep completely, if you ask me, he is not going to sleep completely. He will be arousable at any given point of time. Okay, he will respond to your verbal commands. Okay, he will hold the water in the mouth. If you put a suction, he can bear the suction. Okay, water, and he will respond to your verbal commands. If you say open the mouth, he will open the mouth. Okay, so that is the level of sleep it will be in, or a mild state of. It is a mild to moderate level of sedation. So 4 ஸ்டேஜா இருக்கும் sedation நம்ம பேசும்போது பாத்தீங்க pharmacology எல்லாம் படிச்சிருப்போம். Mild, moderate, deep and general anesthesia. Okay, this nitrous oxide keeps the individual at a mild and a moderate state of sedation. தூங்க போறதுக்கு முன்னாடி எப்படி இருப்போம் நம்ம? ஒரு மாதிரி ஒரு தூக்கம் வர்ற மாதிரி இருக்கும். அந்த நேரத்துல யாரு தட்டி எழுப்பினாலும் நம்மளால எந்திக்க முடியும். அந்த ஸ்டேஜ் ஆஃப் செடேஷன் தான் இதுல வச்சிருக்கோம். இதுல என்ன ஆகுது அப்படின்னா, you have 5 parameters to assess the level of sedation. How you respond, what is the general description of the patient, general description means anxiety and fear of the patient is reduced, so automatically the pain perception is increased. Okay, so airway, his pharyngeal and laryngeal reflexes are intact, his respiratory system is perfectly functioning without any support, and his cardiac system is perfectly functioning without any support. Okay, normally anesthetists enna பண்ணுவாங்க, they put a tube and they will intubate and they will maintain the airway and the cardiac and the respiratory system, which is not going to happen here. So this is what is called as the mild sedation, moderate sedation and deep sedation. In deep sedation, you need a support for the respiration and the cardiac system to function, in which is not, we are not going to do. We are only going to maintain the patient at a mild and a moderate level of sedation. Deep sedation in the nitrous oxide konde pogadu. It IV sedation can take the patient, general anesthesia can take the patient, but mild and moderate level of sedation, because there are certain parameters in which the system works which doesn't allow you to take the patient beyond that level of sedation. So that is beyond the lectures, today's lecture. Okay. Nowadays, conscious sedation is replaced by another term called procedural sedation, because you can ask me how the patient can be conscious at the same time sedated. It's like a very confusing terminology. So they replace the term with a term called procedural sedation. Right now, nowadays they have replaced. Next, is it safe? Is it very risky? Will the patient die in the dental chair, or in the patient go in for hypoxia? Okay, if you ask me, you have to follow all the safety protocols which the training tells you. Okay, and you need to operate in the way the training tells you, and you need to have all the support system after you undergo the training. Okay, so then you will be able to tell me whether it is safe or not. Okay, but to be frank, till date, if you are using nitrous oxide inhalation sedation alone, take my words, alone, you should not mix and match other sedations. Till date, there is no one reported death of patient with nitrous oxide inhalation sedation. Till now. Okay, the maximum complication you can ever have is either maximum nausea or vomiting if the patient has had a full-blown meal before taking the sedation. Otherwise, you will not have. Very, very minimum chances, if the patient is a highly anxious patient, anxious and fearful patient, you can land up with the mild kind of breathing, kind of heavy breathing or a shortness of breath can be there. Landing up with a mild hypoxia, that's very, very rare. So we would have talked about ASA grade 1, 2, 3, 4 and all in our UG days and our PG days. Okay. So American, this is the classification of the individual patients. Okay. According to the level of problem they have, the systemic problem they have. Okay. ASA 1 and 2 are good candidates for sedation. ASA 1 and 2 means any patient who is walking into your dental office with cardiac problem, having blood thinners or any other cardiac medications or any other respiratory problem medications, COPD, recovered COPD patients or diabetic patients or hypertensive patients, all these patients are good candidates provided they are on their proper medications. How you assess for extraction? You maybe ask the physician to take a consult and opinion and come. The same way you can take the patient consult for the dental problem. You will be the right person to tell whether the patient is fit for nitrous oxide or not. So there is no compromise in the quality of the work. If there is some systems have to be in place, you have to have those systems in place. Then only you can practice noise. You might think it is too complicated. I need to arrange something apart from your dental work. I need to have this thing, that thing. Okay. Whether it is too complicated or it is going to take much of my time for the procedure. If you ask me, initially to start with, there will be some difficulty. Difficulty in the sense you have to set the system in place, the nitrous machine on the machine, put for the patient. So that is going to take an initial lag of your time. But once the patient is sedated, you gain a lot of time which you have lost in the initial phase. Because patient, you don't have to ask the patient to keep spitting out. Patient keeps the mouth open comfortably for a very long period of time, like 45 minutes, 1 hour. You don't have to give rest. Okay. Whatever time you lose in the initial phase, you will gain in the procedural phase. So never need to rush for the procedure. You might think it is not needed for my practice. I have a very small practice. Whether this will fit into my practice. Okay. If you ask this question to me, we are right now in a state where we are treating less number of patients and more quantity of work is delivered to the patient. Do you accept or not? The quantity of patients what you are seeing has reduced, but the quality of time which you are spending with patients has increased because we are more into conservative nature of treatment. Okay, patients are also willing to get those kind of treatment. Okay, so in this kind of scenario, this will be an added benefit for you because patient is comfortable, less number of dental appointments, more number of time spent with the patient, and more quantity of dental work done in a single appointment. 2 or 3 appointments what you're going to take, you can finish in one sitting, or maybe in 2 sittings we can finish the entire work. Okay, so your disposables is going to reduce. The number of times you are going to autoclave your instruments are going to come down. So cost cutting will be also there in that aspect. So patients are so relaxed that you have a large amount of complex dental treatment done in a single appointment. And your productivity of work increases. Okay, you tend to earn a little better, and patient comes back to you with a positive dental attitude. Patients who are postponing dental treatment for a long time come back to you and say, we'll finish this dental work because I'm not having any pain. Okay, so the receptiveness for dental treatment is much better. And one more thing, you stand up differently from the crowd, from all the other dentists who are practicing dentistry. And there is a lot of word of mouth spread of this kind of practice. Okay, because it gives a very good happy feeling. So patient goes and tells another patient or another client, and he refers very strongly, recommends you, and so they say word of mouth. The practice develops better. Okay, coming to whether we can do special children with nitrous oxide. This is a myth people have. Okay, if the individual can breathe through the nose, the mask which you are keeping on the nose, the individual can voluntarily breathe. Any individual who can voluntarily breathe through the nose is a good candidate for nitrous oxide inhalation sedation. Okay. Some special children will be able to understand what we are telling. Some special children will not be able to understand what we are telling. If their receptive ability, the cognitive ability to understand what we are telling is not there, they are not good candidates for nitrous oxide. They are always another candidate for IV sedation or GA. You have to look into that options. But some spectrum, mild autism, mild CP, mild Down syndrome, these kind of candidates are all good candidates for nitrous oxide inhalation sedation. So it's a take and call on an individual patient analysis. So we need to physically and mentally evaluate the patient. So always I say a very good history taking and behavior assessment. Pediatric dentistry, we will always do a lot of behavior management. So we assess the patient based on the behavior. So general dentist, general or other specialty dentists don't do this part of dentistry. So இதை வந்து கொஞ்சம் ஒரு கல்ச்சரா நீங்க incorporate பண்ணணும். Okay, then you will be able to analyze whether this patient is an anxious patient, whether this patient is a fearful patient, whether this patient wants to complete the dental treatment in a short span of time, whether the patient is coming from abroad and staying here for 1 week time only. I want to complete the dental treatment in a short span. So when we start looking into this aspect, then we can put forward this dental treatment along with a sedation option to the patient. Then they are able to accept it much better. So always a good history taking in a perspective of looking at it with a sedation assisted dentistry. So you start looking at that aspect. Lot of patients will fall into that factor. You might think it is very tedious. It might be very tiring. There is another machine I need to operate. I need to operate my air outer handpiece. I need to look into the patient's mouth. I need to look into the teeth and all those things. Take it from me. You need to, whenever we do dentistry, we have an assistant by our side, right? So we need to train that assistant, and it's a more of a teamwork. Okay. And it is basically based on the case selection and behavior management, and take it from me, it is not tedious. Your back is not strained at all when you do under nitrous because patient doesn't keep moving. Okay, so you have a very healthy back. For dentistry, it's an occupational hazard for us. Okay, so you have a very healthy back for you to take care, and your mind is very calm and composed when you do your dental work. So when you go back home with a very frustrated patient being handled, you start behaving very differently in the house after you have a very bad patient. So this will not be there when you do under nitrous. All your appointments will get over in time. Patients are very happy. You are happy. Your mind is pretty much very free. You don't have a complicated case, even if it is a complicated broken tooth extraction. The patient, if it will not be, uncomfortable for the procedure. So you are able to handle the patient comfortably. So your mind is at peace when you work. So you go back home with peace. It is expensive. Okay. Initially, in the initial investment is little high. You might have to spend about 2.5 to 3 lakhs. If you want to go for an imported machine, you have to go and spend about 3 to 3.75 lakhs for a machine, and a supportive drugs and cylinders, everything, etc. But if you go for an implant course, there is some return on investment immediately. Or you go for an endo course, there is some return on investment immediately which will happen. Okay, you will catch hold of 2 or 3 cases, and you will put the implant, and you will gain the money whatever you have spent on the implant training program. But here it will not happen. This is a long-term investment. If it is like investing on a dental chair, do you look at return of an investment on a dental chair? No, right? Okay, it is like that because the investment initially is high. After that, the recurring expenses are low. Refilling of oxygen cylinder will cost you only 80 to 100 rupees. A refilling of nitrous oxide cylinder will cost you around 600 to 800 rupees. And the main machines are very robust in nature. They don't give any trouble in the long run. I have machines for more than 8 years old, 5 years old, like that. So they are all very comfortable and they don't give any major trouble. And if at all any trouble is there, simple washer is gone, simple knob has become loose, something like that, which we can get rectified. Okay. So recurrent expenses are very less. Okay. And the productivity doesn't happen directly. The productivity happens indirectly. Patient coming inside, you suggesting one patient for a root canal, and patient, you put the patient on nitrous oxide. Patient is very comfortable. Then he will come and say, Doctor, the remaining 8 or 10 fillings இருக்குன்னு சொன்னீங்களா அதை முடிச்சிருங்க அப்படின்மா. So that is the indirect productivity you will have, which will not be seen visibly with your eyes. Okay, he will say, doctor, என் பையனுக்கு இதே போட்டு முடிச்சிருங்க அப்படின்மா. So that is indirect productivity. So you cannot calculate that indirect productivity. கண்ணால பார்க்க முடியாது. ஒரு இம்ப்ளான்ட் கோர்ஸ் போனீங்கன்னா அந்த இம்ப்ளான்ட் முடிச்சீங்க, வந்தீங்க, இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணீங்க, you have done justice and you see that productivity, direct productivity. This will happen indirectly and you will refer another client to you, which will be a potential client. So indirect productivity will happen. Okay. So it is not expensive. You can compensate this by increasing your income by quadrant dentistry, productivity of work and productivity of patients. It needs a lot of training. I cannot undergo that. It is very complicated, the training is. Okay. In the West, nitrous oxide inhalation sedation is practiced from the 3rd year of undergraduate curriculum. It is nothing பெரிய ஒரு கம்பசுத்திர காரியம் கிடையாது. Okay. இங்கே தான் நம்ம academic curriculum it is not incorporated. So we are, the system is not aware of the sedation process of learning. So we are not taught inside our curriculum. Okay. Otherwise, every dental school, dental graduate who is coming out is experienced to handle nitrous oxide inhalation sedation in the West, Australia, UK, US, everywhere. And every dental clinic, apart from suction, there will be nitrous oxide inside the clinic. It is like that. So if you want to learn, there is no specifications in the Indian Dental Association. American Dental Association recommends you to go on a 14 to 16 hours rigorous training. That's a 2-day training program along with your basic life support workshop you should undergo. The 16 hours also includes a basic life support workshop. So that is how the training has to happen. It's a 2-day training program for if you want to learn it. What is the best route of administration? You said inhalational, oral, intramuscular, IV, everything. So which is the best route? There is nothing like best route. It is a mix and match. You have to fall into the water to learn about sedation assisted dentistry. Okay. அப்போ உங்களுக்கு தெரிய வரும் இந்த கேஸ் நைட்ரஸ்ல பண்ணலாம், இந்த கேஸ் ஐவில பண்ணலாம், இந்த கேஸ் ஜிஏக்கு இது போகணும், இந்த கேஸ்ல ஓரல் செடேஷன் கொடுக்கலாம். பட் டு பி ஃப்ராங்க் வித் யூ, ஆஸ் அ டென்டிஸ்ட், டு அவர் medical and surgical knowledge, whatever we have, and the training, whatever we undergo, we are supposed to do only nitrous oxide inhalation sedation alone. We cannot do other forms of sedation. Any other form of sedation, you have to have the presence of the anesthetist with you. Okay? Because nitrous oxide inhalation sedation's uses in Pathinganna, you don't have to wait to use it. Wait means today one patient is going to come to me, he's going to come and ask for me for sedation and I'm going to use it. It is not like that. It is, you can use it for your scaling. It reduces gag reflex. So patients with gag, you can put the patient on sedation and take a very wonderful impression for the patient. You can do 4 fillings. Patient can bite and check and tell you occlusion idikidin. He will be able to, in the conscious state, he will tell you 4 or 5 fillings. Patient is inability to keep the mouth open for a long time. You can do quadrant dentistry. You can do perio. You can do implant. You can do whatever you want to do. You can do in dentistry. There is nothing like this procedure alone can be used. For only long procedure I have to use. Because once you cut the sedation, the patient is out of the sedation. You come out, he walks out, he sits in the dental outside the operatory, he takes the car and he can even drive back. It's such safe. So patient selection. Used for medically compromised patients. Take it from me. Nitrous oxide, when you give, it will act only on the respiratory system. It will go inside your respiratory system and it will hit the CNS. And it will depress the CNS by means of 3 ways. 3 A's I will tell you. Analgesic effect, anxiolytic effect, and anesthetic effect. How it is going to happen, I will be talking to you. It will depress the CNS and the nitrous oxide is going to enter into the respiratory system. That is exchanged in the alveolus along with oxygen and it is going to go to the brain. There is no other interaction in any of the systems in the body. Your blood, it doesn't interact. In your liver, it doesn't interact. The skeletal muscles, it doesn't interact. In your heart, it doesn't interact. In any way, it doesn't interact in any of the systems in the body. So we are very safe to use on cardiac patients. It will only relax the patient. Patient who's having a pulse rate of about 90, when you put the patient on nitrous, he'll become around 80. That means a 10% dip will be there. That is because his mind is completely relaxed. That is indirect relaxation. Not necessary. We can use for our central nervous system patients, any patient recovered from stroke, Parkinson's disease, patients on epileptic medicines, any kind of things, you can safely use nitrous oxide. These are the only relative contraindications to nitrous oxide inhalation sedation. Patients in active stage of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, first trimester of pregnancy, cystic fibrosis, patients, oncology, patients suffering from cancer who's on bleomycin sulfate therapy, okay? Patients who are unable to understand the procedure, highly fearful and phobic individuals, psychiatric patients, okay? Patients on recent pneumoencephalography is an investigatory tool which is used. So that tool, if it has been used for assessing the sleep pattern, for the next 1 week, you're not supposed to do. And patients who have undergone any eye surgeries in the posterior chamber, not on the anterior chamber. Anterior chamber is what your cataract and all those things. Posterior chamber is vitreoretinal chamber. Okay, retinal issues. Those kind of patients, immediately after the surgery, they are not supposed to do the procedure. So these are some relative contraindications. Very, very rarely seen in our dental practice. In our routine dental practice, in the many patients, we பார்க்கவே முடியாது. Is it different for adults? You are a periodontist. Okay. You handle a lot of anxious and fearful patients. We deal more of adult dentistry, whether it is going to be fitting for adult patients. Okay. The only difference between children and adults is children express anxiety and fear. Adults don't express anxiety and fear. சொன்னா சொசைட்டில ஒரு மாதிரி பார்ப்பாங்க நம்மள, அதனால சொல்ல மாட்டாங்க. When you ask them, when you elicit questions, then they tell, I am fearful for injection. I have postponed the dental treatment because of the fear of the dental drill sound. They tell like that. Okay. So those kind of patients are ideal candidates for nitrous. So this small video. Thank you. It's a single tooth implant placement, osteotomy being done, and implant being placed. So I was telling you, when the child visits, he's going to be anxious and fearful. So children express anxiety and fear, whereas adults don't express. So pediatric dentistry is designed to manage behavior, whereas adult dentistry is designed to manage the fear and anxiety of the individual. Okay, so you have to elicit from the individual. Child will express fear and anxiety, whereas adults will not express fear and anxiety. It is an alternate. Is it an alternative to general anesthesia? If I have nitrous in my clinic, GA la kondu pora patients ella nama nitrous le manage panniralama அப்படின்ற மாதிரி. There are a set of patients who can manage with nitrous. There are certain kind of cases you have to only manage under GA. Okay, so always that spectrum of cases will have to be managed. But a majority of cases which you have been before managing under GA, you will start managing under nitrous. Okay, so it doesn't completely knock the patient off. Okay, there are certain cases which you still have to manage under GA. Okay, so a full-blown child with early childhood caries, nursing bottle caries or rampant caries, 3-year-old, full-blown or 18 பல்லு அல்லது 15 பல்லுல ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்குது, ஒரு 7-8 RC crown பண்ணணும், அந்த மாதிரி கேசஸ் எல்லாம் we are not a good candidate for nitrous because 3-year-old will not be able to understand what I am telling. When I tell hold the mask in the nose, no, not possible. Mask vacha anterior region work பண்றது difficulty. So it's not possible to work with nitrous. Okay. So there are certain limitations. So still GA option still exists. Okay. Certain cases, a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 2-3 root canals, crowns has to be done. Definitely possible. When I'm able to talk to the patient, child is able to understand. So it's possible. So these are the right age spectrum from which we can start doing. So the success of inhalation sedation is a balanced combination of behavior management as well as the drug. The drug is nitrous oxide. Behavior management is how you talk to the individual, how you convince them, okay, how you vocally communicate, keep communicating with them during the process of the sedation when you work on the patient. So it's a combination of the pharmacology and the behavior management which helps in succeeding in conscious sedation, because patient is in a arousable state. He is going to listen to what you are going to talk. He is not completely sedated. It is recommended for uncooperative patients. Patients who is a totally crying child. Whether we are able to do it. You can see this video. He will be breathing through the mouth. So he will not get sedated. In this situation, you have to talk to the patient. He's a 6.5-year-old kid. He has to have a couple of extractions done. So you talk, communicate, put the patient on the parent's lap, ask him to breathe through the nose. He will respond to verbal commands. Slowly he'll get sedated. Then you start working on the patient. So the success is a combination of pharmacology as well as behavior management. Your tell show do or your voice control or whatever ways of managing the child still exist. If you have to put a topical anesthetic, you have to put a topical anesthetic before giving the local. Just because nitrous is given, local is not avoided. Not avoided means it can be avoided. It's not like that. Your local anesthetic has to be given. He will not move, very comfortable. If you have to give the local 1 ml in 60 minutes, 60 seconds, you can give 1 ml in 60 seconds. You can slowly administer the local. So adult patient undergoing a 1/8 extraction. Normally, when you start luxating, the patient starts creating a face frowning or starts giving a little bit of sound, or they will start tightening their muscles. So it will be difficult for us to work also. So patient's muscles are completely relaxed. So you're able to keep the mouth open, visibility is much better, secretion is less. So you're able to work in a better way, comfortable way. Time now. Time now. Time. Yeah. Pressure தெரியாது. So nama always we tell no, it's pressure. We keep reassuring them. They will be perceiving pressure as pain. That will not be felt. So you can comfortably work. There is a behind tubing is there, which you can attach it behind your chair and it can tighten it up so it doesn't move. And always your assistant has to be there to keep monitoring whether the mask is there because we'll be operating on the patient. So the common mistake we will encounter is the mask slipping out from the nose. If the mask slips out, patient recovers. So or assistant yarachu suction போடுறவங்க அதை பார்த்துக்கிட்டே இருக்கணும். So it's always a teamwork. Do we need to administer local anesthetic? It is not a shortcut for your dental procedure. So you have to administer your local anesthetic. So it is only an adjunct to your dentistry. Whatever other ways of managing your dental practice, you have to manage whatever dental procedure you are going to do. How nitrous oxide works? I was telling you, there are three ways: analgesic, anxiolytic, and anesthetic effect. It is a very, very potent anxiolytic. It is a very weak analgesic, and also anesthetic effect is not much. It is a very, very weak anesthetic. Nitrous oxide as a property of the drug. How it works? The analgesic action is because of the endogenous opioid release, blocking the pain pathway, thereby releasing endorphins and enkephalins. The depression of the CNS is by the GABA stimulation. Okay, so GABAergic stimulation, because of which the anxiolytic effect takes place for the patient. And the anesthetic effect is because of the inhibition of the N-glutamate receptors in the brain, because of which there is an anesthetic effect. Okay, because of the anesthetic effect, weak anesthetic effect, the patient will sit in the dental chair for about 45 minutes. But when you bring the patient out of the dental chair and ask him, how much time did you sit in the dental chair? He will tell you 10 minutes or 15 minutes I sat in the dental chair. That is a beautiful property called time compression. It doesn't look like very long, the duration of the procedure. It looks very short. So that's called time compression because the whole event is not remembered by the patient. It's called selective amnesia. Some of the event is completely vanished from the brain. So it's a relatively insoluble drug. See, it is a very topical effect on the brain. Immediately you give oxygen. Oxygen is an antidote for nitrous oxide. All the nitrous oxide which is in the body will be getting eliminated. You give post-operative oxygen for 5 minutes. Whatever nitrous oxide which was there in the body completely get eliminated. And when you administer nitrous oxide also, you will administer oxygen along with the nitrous oxide. And whatever atmospheric air we breathe contains 22% oxygen. In a mixture of nitrous with oxygen, we will be giving maximum level is 50% nitrous with 50% oxygen, which is more than what is available in the atmospheric air. So there is very, very less chance the patient can land up in hypoxia. The maximum limit you can give nitrous is 70% nitrous and 30% oxygen, which again is more than what is there in the atmospheric air. So the machine cannot deliver more than 70% nitrous. That is where the braking system happens. So அதுக்கு மேல போச்சுன்னா deep sedation போவாங்க. The mild to moderate குள்ள மெயின்டைன் பண்ணனும்னா 70% வரைக்கும் தான் மெயின்டைன் பண்ண முடியும். So that is the main crux of the all set. செட் ஆகி தான் வரும் மிஷின்ல. கேட்கும், அவங்களுக்கு கேட்கும். சில பேருக்கு ஞாபகம் இருக்கும், சில பேருக்கு ஞாபகம் இருக்காது. Amnesia. Yes, individual biovariability. That property is called individual biovariability. Individual biovariability means, suppose you are coming today for dental treatment to me. You are coming at morning 9 o'clock and you have to have an impaction done. So that means today there is a high chance you will get sedated at 40% nitrous and 60% oxygen. Your mind is very free. You have prepared your day that I'm only going to the dentist. Okay. And you are kind of having a procedure done in your mindset. So 40% nitrous, 60% oxygen கூட sedate ஆயிருவீங்க. The same individual, you going to come after 1 week, you have gone to college, done your work, then suddenly ஒரு பல்லு வலி வந்துருச்சு, anxious ஆயிட்டீங்க, then you are coming to me for dental treatment. there is a very, very less chance you will get sedated at 40% nitrous and 60% oxygen. Same individual, different clinical situation, different time, morning 9 o'clock, evening 6 o'clock in the report பண்றீங்க. There is, you might have to get sedated at 60% nitrous and 40% oxygen. So different individual, different pattern sedate ஆவாங்க. That is all based on the clinical science. கொடுக்கும்போது நம்மளுக்கு cardinal science தெரியும். Training, you have to undergo the training, know all these things. Yeah, you can put an open-ended question, how you are feeling. They will say, I feel comfortable. Okay, muscles will feel relaxed. Eye signs slow down. Legs uncrossed. These are cardinal signs to look into the body. It's a full, completely clinical evaluation. So, avanga irukra vidham. Eye signs is a very cardinal sign. Legs uncrossed. Arms lying loose on the armrest. These are very cardinal signs of sedation. இந்த மாதிரி நான் இதுவரைக்கும் பண்ணதில்லை. பண்ணலாம், possible. I have not done that. Maybe we can check. Some eye signs, what happens is the blink rate slow down, eyes half close ஆயிரும், pupil dilate ஆயிரும், நல்ல dilated இருக்கும். blink rate பாத்தீங்கன்னா இப்ப நாம நார்மலா blink பண்ணும்போது இப்படி blink பண்ணுவோம். அப்போ eyelid upper eyelid கம்ப்ளீட்டா நம்ம விஷன் obscure பண்ணாது. light reflex ரொம்ப, what do you say, you are not very aversive to bright light. You become very comfortable with bright lights. Dilation இருக்கனால. So இந்த மூவ்மெண்ட் நமக்கு இவ்வளவு ஃபாஸ்டா இருக்கிறது, it will half eyelid close ஆகும், கொஞ்ச நேரம் மெயின்டைன் ஆகும் அதே பொசிஷன்ல, then it opens up after some time. So these are some cardinal signs of eye signs. So clinical peak action happens immediately, 3 to 5 minutes. Yes, 30%. How often, depending upon the anxiety of the individual தான். Anxious இருக்காங்க ரொம்ப அப்படின்னா கொஞ்சம் கொண்டு போலாம், கொண்டு போய் you can maintain it at in about 10. For me, in my experience, maximum 50-50 is a very good plane for me. 70% nitrous, 30% oxygen. Yes, adults also. 70% nitrous, 30% oxygen. ஒரு 10 பேஷண்ட் பாக்குறேன்னா ஒரு பேஷண்ட்ல யூஸ் பண்ண வாய்ப்பு இருக்குது. நான் முடிஞ்ச அளவுக்கு அதுல கொண்டு போக மாட்டேன். என்னன்னா, the objective of the sedation is to have a very pleasant feeling of the sedation, and you should have a positive dental attitude when he comes out of the sedation. He should not say, I feel very groggy, I felt like going in the, what do you say, giant wheel போயிட்டு வந்த மாதிரி இருந்துச்சு, அத எங்கேயோ தூக்கிட்டு போன மாதிரி இருந்துச்சு. அது கொஞ்சம் லெவல் ஆஃப் செடேஷன் மாடரேட்ல ஹையஸ்ட் லெவல்ல கொண்டு போய் வச்சீங்கன்னா அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும். அதுல வச்சு நீங்க கீழே கொண்டு வந்துட்டீங்கன்னா ப்ரொசீஜர் அச்சீவ் பண்ணிடுவீங்க. பட் திரும்ப பேஷண்ட் வந்துட்டு எனக்கு செடேஷன் இல்ல, எனக்கு அது எல்லாமே பண்ணிருங்க அப்படின்றோம். அது வேண்டாம் நம்மளுக்கு. நம்மளுக்கு திரும்ப அவன் கேட்கணும் நம்ம கிட்ட அத. So positive dental attitude இருக்கணும். அவன் இன்னொரு ஆளுக்கு இதை ரெஃபர் பண்ணணும்னா you have to have a very pleasant feeling for it. அது you will happen only in 40% nitrous, 50% nitrous தான் நல்லா இருக்கும் on an average. Okay, suppose the individual is a very highly anxious individual, you have to calm down, you don't have a choice. அப்படின்னா you have to go to 70%. Okay, that doesn't mean it is wrong. Anything in sedation, it is all based on values. Values na 2 to 4. Okay, 2 நாலும் ஓகே, 4 நாலும் ஓகே, 4 to 6 அதெல்லாம் எல்லாமே ரேஞ்ச் தான். 4 தான் இருக்கணும், 6 தான் இருக்கணும், 8 தான் இருக்கணும் அப்படி கிடையாது. எல்லாமே ரேஞ்ச் தான். Sedation is a range. Your values, today you see eye signs, tomorrow you see leg signs, the same patient. Okay, fine. It is not necessary all the signs has to be seen. It's all arbitrary clinical evaluation. So elimination, it doesn't happen in the liver. So there is no metabolization happening in the liver. Okay. It is 99% eliminated in the lungs without biotransformation. It is the least potent of all the inhalational general anesthetics which are used in the OT, like your sevoflurane or enfurane or halothane, out of all of which it is the most least potent drug. So with nitrous oxide alone, you cannot kill a patient. If you want to completely sedate the patient with nitrous oxide, they call minimum alveolar concentration, you have to give 104% of nitrous oxide, which is not at all possible. 104% pure form of nitrous oxide. 104 அது கொடுக்கவே முடியாது நம்மளால. Is this machine safe? This machine is built in such a way, when I have to talk about the machine, அதுவே ஒரு 1 hour lecture, அதனால I don't want to go. I'll just tell you. ஒரு ஃபிளைட்ல போக போறீங்க அப்படின்னா ஃபிளைட்ல என்ன சேஃப்டி ப்ரிகாஷன்ஸ் பண்ணிருப்பாங்க? லெவல் ஆஃப் சேஃப்டி ஃபார் த பைலட், ஃபார் த டிராவலிங் பர்சன், ஒரு எமர்ஜென்சி வந்துச்சுன்னா எப்படி லேண்டிங், அதெல்லாம் மீறி தான் ஒரு ஃபிளைட் வந்து கிராஷ் ஆகுது. ஓகே, அதே மாதிரி there is a step and step level of protection system which is inbuilt in the mission. Okay, so that keeps you very comfortable to perform the procedure. Okay, so these things will be taught to you. ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிளுக்கு சொல்லணும்னா, மிஷின்ல வந்து சிலிண்டரை மாத்தி போட முடியாது. நைட்ரஸ் இருக்கிற இடத்துல ஆக்சிஜன் போட முடியாது, ஆக்சிஜன் இருக்கிற இடத்துல நைட்ரஸ் போட முடியாது. அதுல வேல்வ்ல ஒரு சேஃப்டி மெக்கானிசம் இருக்கும். ஏன்னா ஒவ்வொரு தடவையும் it is not you who is going to put the cylinder inside. Your office person will be fixing the cylinder. Okay, so that's called pin index safety system. Color index safety system. Color index na blue naale nitrous. The machine la blue color irukum, white color irukum. Blue naale nitrous, white naale oxygen. It represents like that. In the mari there are safety factors, about 10 or 12 safety factors. Okay, so they are not going to details about that. So but machine is a machine. You have to use your brain to assess which patient is ideal for nitrous, which patient is ideal without nitrous, which patient is ideal for other forms of sedation. It is up to the clinician to assess. If you can have that technique of assessment, you will succeed in sedation dentistry. Otherwise, you will tell sedation is not working with me. I put the patient on sedation, he did not get sedated. Okay, that could be a possibility. You have selected a wrong case for that particular patient. Factors which determine the success of noise: ability to hold the nasal mask, good communication with the patient. You assess the behavior, how the patient can behave in the dental operatory. Starvation protocol: a minimum starvation of 2 hours is mandatory. Maximum of 4 hours, if it is there, it is very good. If you are going to put the patient on long hours of sedation, say 1 hour, 1.5 hours போட போறீங்க அப்படின்னா 4 hours sedation starvation இருந்தா very good. Minimum 2 hours should be there, because the most commonest complication you will have is nausea and vomiting. Okay, nausea and vomiting எப்போ நடக்கும்னா abdominal pressure இல்ல stomachல food இருந்துச்சுன்னா over a period of 45 minutes, when you put the patient on sedation, the patient goes in for a deeper respiratory sedation. What do you say? Breathing. When you go in for deeper respiratory breathing, what happens is you have under your respiratory system your intercostal muscles, abdominal intercostal muscles. When your breathing starts becoming deeper, you tend to enlarge your chest cavity. That happens when that happens, you tend to push the abdominal intercostal muscles. அப்படி ஆகும்போது ஸ்டமக்ல இருந்து என்ன இருந்தாலும் வெளியே வாமிட்டிங்கா வந்துடும். அவ்வளவுதான். That is the reason you get the most commonest complication you have is nausea and vomiting. So good history with the patient, good starvation protocol is always necessary. But suppose patient has landed up in the operatory, you want to do the dental treatment immediately. Okay, you cannot wait. If you let the patient out, patient doesn't going to come back to you again. You should have Rantac with you, Ranitidine with you, or Pan D, or Pan 40, or Pan 20 for a pediatric patient. Give the patient that, wait for 15 minutes in the operatory reception area, then start the work. You will not have vomiting. So these are some clinical tips which you can add on when you do this. Antiemetics, domperidone, தேவையில்லை. Pan D கூட போடலாம். You can put it, no problem. If you wait for perfect conditions, you will never start doing. You will never know your limits until you push yourself to them. So these are some motivational quotes. To stand apart from the crowd, or you have to do something different, right? So if you want to do something different, you can think about option of sedation. This small video of the complete technique in which we do nitrous. in none other than my own son only is okay, and the video is taken by my elder son only. ஒரு just dental council of india ஓட guidelines ஒன்னு இருக்குது. Okay, you can just pass through, you can, one of you can have that, we'll discuss that. Okay, that gives a fair idea of what we can do with sedation. இது வந்து 2013 guidelines. இது வந்து ஜூலைல பண்ணிருக்காங்க. After that it has not been modified. Okay, actually this comes with a nice audio also. It's been muted actually for the Google Meet காக it's been muted. This is the technique checklist dot or 10 checklist இருக்குது. அது படில நீ have to do it, that's it. Usually children க்கு வந்து நாங்க 50-50 pre-mix பண்ணி கொடுப்போம். There are two techniques of administration. One is called a bolus technique, one is called a titration technique. Titration is incrementally increase the dose. Bolus is 50-50 pre-mix பண்ணி first அப்படி கொடுத்துருவோம். Anxious children க்கு first நாங்க கொடுத்துட்டு தான் then we will control the sedation as per the requirement. If he is over sedated or less sedated, அதுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி mix பண்ணுவோம். Yes. No, not contradict. Very anxious patient, you don't want to wait for time, you're busy in the OP, start. No problem. No need to see, no need anything else. You can just seal it. The mask will seal completely. What you can do is ask your assistant to just hold on. இந்த மேல just ஒரு push கொடுத்துட்டீங்கன்னா, கொடுத்துட்டு அந்த tying tubing வந்து நல்லா டைட் பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா it will hold on. Assistant 600 dentistry பண்ணணும் sedation பண்றீங்கன்னா. 400 dentistry கூட சொல்ல மாட்டேன், 600 dentistry பண்ணீங்கன்னா very comfortable. ஒரு assisting ஒன்னு you have no assistant doctor, you have 2 assistant nurses, or else you have 1 assistant nurse and 1 assistant doctor. Everybody should be trained on the basics. That is how you need to perform. Suction is mandatory. Good suction is mandatory. So that is what, that is some protocols. These things has to be there, then only you can do it. So the master listener questions vandrichi, 4 questions. Is LA mandatory with noise if needed for a dental procedure? What is allergic incidence with noise? Recommended training hours for noise for a clinician. Mechanism of action of noise. These are the 4 questions. So you can answer on the slip line pinadi eludhalam. So who is going to give it first? I'll give a prize. You can write it on the back side itself. Okay, I'll go into the DCI guidelines. The first line what they have given is the procedure has to be carried out in a fully equipped hospital facility with the emergency equipment under the supervision of a qualified medical anesthesiologist who is capable of handling the responsibility and management of the pediatric or anesthetic emergency thereof. So they say if you have to use it in the hospital setup, in the presence of an anesthetist. It is a guideline for conscious sedation and not for nitrous oxide alone. Okay, you can just go through that. The second point what they say is when you use conscious sedation either in the academic setup or in the clinical setup or in a pediatric setup, the regulatory mandate to take informed consent of the patient for the procedure under the response and supervision of a qualified anesthetist. They say second point. Second point also they say you can practice in the operatory OT setup or in a OP setup or in a pediatric dental facility in this presence of the anesthetist. The third point I will tell you, any attempt at delivering or managing a dental patient either in an academic setup or in a dental practice or in a pediatric dental practice using procedures of either conscious sedation or GA without the consent of the patient and the responsibility and induction of the procedure, the person who is managing the procedure, that is the anesthetist. If you are going to do without the presence of these people or the procedure allotted to a qualified medical anesthesiologist, It can be done at your own risk, as even the minute risk cannot be overlooked. The third point they say is, if you want to do without the presence of the anesthetist, you can do, but you should ensure that there is no risk involved and you should completely overlook for the patient. That is what is told. So nitrous oxide can be done without the presence of the anesthetist, because for a simple scaling, you cannot call an anesthetist. For a simple impression making or a single tooth extraction, you call an anesthetist, you pay 1,000 rupees for the extraction procedure and you pay 5,000 rupees for the anesthetist. This is not practically possible. Okay. And moreover, this is not a very unsafe procedure which requires the presence of the anesthetist to be monitored. So that is where the beauty of the system lies. Okay. The third point, they have given that leeway. So you need to undergo the training to undergo the to practice the noise. So if is LA mandatory? Yes. What is the allergic incidence with noise? No allergy. The third question, what it came? 14 to 16 hours of training. Fourth question. And anesthetic. நான் gift கொடுத்துட்டு பேரா லக்கி டிரா போட்டு எடுத்துக்கோங்க அந்த gift. If you are practicing or pursuing noise, dentistry with passion, you have to practice noise. Otherwise, there will not be much noise about your practice. This is my favorite finishing quote always. Thank you. Any other doubts you have?